Hey class, the first derivative of a function gives the rate of change in the function at any value of x or whatever variable is being used in the functions. Sometimes a variable of t for time, but most commonly x is used. The power rule of taking a derivative is one of the most common rules used. Let f of x be a function defined as a polynomial where we have the form ax to the n, and we're going to let that be a function of x. A is the coefficient, n is the power. So we have the coefficient as a and the power is n. When taking the first derivative of a function using the power rule, first you multiply the coefficient and the power, so we have a times n, and then you subtract 1 from the power. N minus 1 will be your new power. A times n, that's your new coefficient. N minus 1 will be your new power. Let's look at some examples. Okay, in our first example, we're going to take the first derivative of f of x equals 2x to the 7th. Applying the power rule, we multiply coefficient 2 times power 7. So 2 times 7, that's 14. Take 1 off your power, and that makes it x to the 6th. In our second example, negative 3 times 5, that's negative 15. Take 1 off your power, that makes it x to the 4th. In this third example, we have a coefficient of 2/3 x to the 4th, and what I did was I just rewrote the function so that the coefficient would look like the form above where we had a x to the n. 2/3 times 4 is 8/3. Take 1 off your power, and you have 3. 8/3 x cubed. All of these first derivatives give you the rate of change of your function at any value of your variable. Same thing on this example, 5/8 t squared. If you need to, separate your fraction from your algebra or your variable term. 5/8 times 2, that's 10/8, which reduces to 5/4. Take 1 off your power, and then it's an unwritten 1. So your derivative is 5/4 t. On the second page, if a function is a constant, then its derivative, the first derivative that is, will always be 0 because it has no rate of change. For example, if we take the function f of x equals 4, if you look at the graph of this function, it is nothing more than a horizontal line that cuts through the y-axis at 4. Now there is no rate of change because the line doesn't go up or down, it's just always flat. So the derivative of any constant function will be 0. Same thing is true for this example. We have g of x equals negative 3, our first derivative, because that's a constant, it's a horizontal line that cuts through the y-axis at negative 3. Its first derivative is 0 because there's no rate of change up or down. Sorry about that shaky zoom feature. If a function is linear, which from college algebra, y equals mx plus b or f of x equals mx plus b, you can see it in either format, then its first derivative will just be the slope of the line. The mx term is the slope m with the x variable because your slope is the rate of change with each increase of x. The constant on the end, b, that just tells you where your graph will cross the y-axis. Our first example, let's look at f of x equals 4x minus 1. This is a line that has a slope of 4 and a y-intercept at negative 1. So I'll plot the y-intercept of negative 1. I go up 4 units, right 1. That's the definition of slope. It's the vertical change compared to horizontal change. That line always has a slope of 4, and so that's its rate of change. This next example, g of x equals negative 3x plus 4. This is a line with slope negative 3 and a y-intercept of positive 4. So I can plot a dot on the y-axis at 4, and from that location I can go down 3 over 1, and that gives me the orientation of this line. Again, since the line is straight, it has a constant rate of change, which will match your slope. On our third page, functions that are comprised of 2 or more algebraic terms may have their first derivatives taken using power rule. You simply apply the power rule formula to each term of the function until you run out of terms. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit more. On this example, we have f of x equals 4x squared minus 3x plus 6. This function actually has a valley shape to it. It's a parabola, and if you were to graph this in a graphing calculator, you'd see what I mean. We're just here simply to take derivatives, so I'm not going to graph it. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 minus 1 is 1. And then you move to your next term, negative 3 times 1, that's negative 3. And this unwritten 1 minus 1 goes to 0. There's no more x. 6 is a constant, and as we saw before, the derivative of any constant is 0. So the rate of change of this function at any value of x is 8x minus 3. No matter how long or short the function is, you apply the same power rule. If your term has the ax to the n look to it, you can use power rule. Negative 3 times 4, that's negative 12. Take 1 off your power, that's 3. 2 times 3, that's 6. Take 1 off your power, that's 2. Negative 6 times 2, that's negative 12. Take 1 off your power, and there's an unwritten 1. If you need to write the 1, write the 1. And then for our third example, g of x is equal to negative 3x to the 4th plus 2x cubed minus 6. Start with your first term, negative 3 times 4. Take 1 off your power. Move to the next term, 2 times 3. Take 1 off your power. Negative 6 is a constant, so its derivative is 0. And you don't have to write the 0. I hope this video has helped. Please feel free to ask questions in class. Send me an email or a phone call. Either way, I'll do my best to help you out.